everyone, welcome to Agalio with MS Adeolo. This channel creates content that helps you to build your faith and live a life of purpose. And in today's video, we are diving into a topic that affects so many lives. Yes, addiction. Now, addiction is really broad, ranging from things like alcohol, drugs, sex, to food, lying, and even stealing. But what really is addiction and why does it have such strong grip on the lives of so many people? Let's find out together. Now, addiction is not having control over doing, taking, or using something to the point which it becomes harmful to you. Now, this definition is gotten from the NHS, by the way. And according to science, an addicted brain causes behavior changes. This means that it changes your personality, it changes your emotions, it changes everything about you. And how it works is that the brain registers the substance or the performance as a reward. So you keep wanting more at the detriment of your mental or physical health. Now, the brain is an wholesome organ that influences most of our lives, if not all, and that is exactly where addiction is registered. So there's a power behind addiction. Therefore, you cannot overcome it by your strength or willpower. It's like inviting a giant into your home and then you realize, oh, I've made a mistake. This giant is taking over, but you cannot evict the giant by your strength or willpower. I've always said it, the devil plays mind games, and addiction is the perfect weapon he would use to destroy a person. An addicted person, regardless of the type of addiction, is already self destructive. It's like having a guilty pleasure where one eats, for instance, a whole tub of ice cream in a sitting. You know it's bad for you, but you keep going back for more. That is how the addicted brain works. And Apostle Paul said, "For I know that good itself does not dwell in me, that is, in my sinful nature. For I have the desire to do what is good, but I cannot carry it out. For I do not do the good I want to do, but the evil I do not want to do, this I keep on doing. Now, if I do what I do not want to do, it is no longer I who do it, but it is the sin living in me that does it." This is why there is a battle going on in the mind of an addicted person. And the Bible keeps telling us to renew our minds. In Ephesians 4:22, the Bible tells us that you were taught with regard to your former way of life to put off your old self, which is being corrupted by its deceitful desires, to be made new in the attitude of your minds. This shows us that the first step to breaking free from addiction doesn't start with force or shame. It starts with a changed perspective, a renewing of the mind. So the first step to breaking free from addiction is realizing that you cannot do it by your strength or willpower. You have to renew your mind. Now, Romans 6:16 says, "Don't you know that when you offer yourself to someone as obedient slaves, you are slaves of the one you obey? Whether you are a slave to sin, which leads to death, or to obedience, which leads to righteousness. But thanks be to God that though you used to be slaves to sin, you have come to obey from your heart the pattern of teaching that has now claimed your allegiance. You have been set free from sin and have become slaves to righteousness." What this means is that every believer has freedom from sin. But this freedom was not gotten by your strength. It was gotten because it was given to you as a gift. So what happens is that the free and saved believer keeps going back to the sin he has been rescued from. The Bible likens it to a dog going back to its vomit. So imagine you have a wicked master. but you got your freedom because a good and kind master paid the price for it. Your old master is not happy with you, right? The day you decide to visit that old master, he will do something so horrible to you that you will regret it. And that is why we have so many free and saved believers that are still afflicted. Now you keep going back to it because of the pleasures the flesh has experienced from that sin. Remember, like we said earlier, the brain has registered the substance or the performance as a reward. So you have to keep asking yourself, do am I ready to completely leave this baggage of sin behind me and choose to follow Jesus all the way? It is when you weigh the two sides, you are able to have convincing evidence that you need to break free from the addiction. So, why choose freedom? Let's have some reasons. Now, the first reason is that addiction ultimately leads to death. Yes, but life and freedom is in Jesus only. Now, second, if you succumb to your desires, you are obeying the devil. You are pleasing the devil. And let me tell you, no one ever makes a covenant with the devil and wins. The devil is out for destruction. But in Christ, you have won even before the battle began. So you have the victory already, even before the battle has started. That is why you should choose Christ, choose freedom. And lastly, Philippians 1:20 tells us that I eagerly expect and hope that I will in no way be ashamed, but have sufficient courage, so that now as always Christ to be exalted in my body, whether by life or by death. Who would you rather have to be exalted in your body? Would you have the devil or Christ? You need to reflect upon these questions. Now, this is the end of today's video, but the first of our series on breaking free from addiction, because God has shown to me that so many believers are suffering from this particular addiction, and He is invested in seeing you break free and become the person He has called you to be. Now, thank you for joining and watching so far. If this video resonated with you, or you know someone that needs to hear this message, please share this video with that person. Let's bring this light to so many people and walk this path of freedom together. Remain blessed, and thank you again for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, so you get the notification when the next series is up. See you in my next video. Stay blessed and keep building your faith.